Talk to us about some of the details of the plan. There are plans to address unemployment. How bad do you think it will get in the United Kingdom, even with all of these plans implemented?
This is a plan for jobs to ensure we retain as many people as possible in their jobs to address the risk of unemployment. Clearly, there is a global impact in terms of the pandemic, and we want to take early action to retain that link between employees and their jobs. That's why we unveiled the furlough scheme, which was a way of retaining that link between workers and their employers. And what the Chancellor set out today was a range of measures, some targeted at specific industries that are affected, such as the hospitality and tourism industry, others at the over 11 million people through the furlough scheme and the self-employed income support scheme who have been protected, but also a range of other measures such as to get infrastructure, to get our house building market going, to get transport schemes built, to accelerate that work as part of our recovery.
So that's great, and of course, a lot of relief will be felt. As that scheme unwinds, though, what is your projection for unemployment at that point?
Well, it depends how quickly we get the economy going, and part of the incentive set out by the Chancellor today is to ensure that we protect as many jobs as possible, but we also support those who do lose their jobs so that they get the skills and get back into the labour market as quickly as possible to limit any economic scarring, particularly amongst the young. So a series of measures around skills, around doubling work coaches, tried and tested schemes which we know work well, but scaling them up and delivering, for example, double the work coaches to support our young. So there's a range of measures, including on the tax side, to cut stamp duty, to cut VAT for specific sectors, but also to get the skills for young people so that if they do lose their jobs, we get them back into the market.
Mr. Secretary, critics would suggest that perhaps this stamp duty holiday is in fact more to help boost house prices. And so rather than, the perception might be that it's helping people and consumers and giving them confidence and they can buy their first home or move faster on a home that they were thinking of buying. But in actual fact, it will only serve to boost prices artificially, and that will even increase prices further when the stamp duty holiday starts to go away at the end of next March.
What it's about is getting confidence back into the market. We saw for the first time in 8 years house prices fall. It's right, we get confidence, whether that's into the house market, the property market, or into construction. We get our construction sites back working at full speed, or whether it's in other sectors such as I say, greening the economy, addressing the climate change challenge, getting that investment such as to decarbonise, £1 billion to decarbonise our public services buildings. So there's a range of measures here, but ultimately it's about protecting jobs, supporting those who lose their jobs, getting the skills and the coaching to get them back into work, and creating jobs by bringing forward, accelerating a number of our infrastructure programs, getting confidence into particular parts of the economy. So we protect the jobs, we support the jobs, but we also create jobs. That's the best way of avoiding the economic scarring as a result of this health pandemic.
Right, and so Mr. Secretary, people will be relieved, I'm sure, but at the same time, this will all eventually have to be paid for, right? And, debt to GDP was already above 100% for the United Kingdom. Should we anticipate tax hikes later in the autumn to try and pay for some of this?
Well, what the Chancellor set out today is that in the autumn he will have a budget where we will address the longer term fiscal position. But it's right, we have this three-phased approach, and today is about reopening the economy. But we're able to do this partly because interest rates are historically low, but in particular because we took difficult decisions over the last decade to get our deficit down. It was 10% when the Conservatives came into government. We got it under 2% going into this health pandemic. So the tough decisions we took in the past has enabled us to take these emergency measures to give support to the labour market, to protect and support people with their jobs. That helps limit the economic scarring as a result of the health pandemic. And then in the autumn, we will address through the budget the longer term fiscal position.